May 23rd, Tainan, Yujing, Taiwan. JC was preparing the bike for our rider, Kristen Chenchev, getting ready for the 2 days race, the Tour of Tainan. The race started on a rainy day. During these special times, precautions are taken for COVID-19. Stage 1 is 48 km of steep rolling terrain. Due to the heavy rain, the route was changed last minute. The route soon takes us into the mountains. Peloton soon break into pieces. Joanna, our first female rider, joined this race as well, fighting in the rain and the ruthless climbing. We caught up to the first group on the way back, still going at a high pace, and it seems nobody can break away. But the rain and uphill are bloodlust, slowly devouring riders with no mercy. By them leave the dark jungle, only a dozen of them survive. In the final 10 km, Lu launched his attack, successful getting away, and Christian decided to give it a go. Bringing up the pace to bridge to Lu, at the final attempt, he gave his all. But both Lu and Chris had missed the corner at last. Meanwhile, Joanna was fighting for her final 10 km, with only one competitor riding ahead. Chris won his category and Joanna took second place.
The course changed last minute. Basically it became, instead of a loop with a big climb where I was thinking of attacking and dropping everyone, it became an out and back on a narrow jungle road. And that was a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting it. It was raining, and then I felt, oh, that might be sketchy, because we would basically go out and then we would cross on our way back every single racer that we passed, and there was about 200 people in that race, so definitely didn't leave a lot of room for attacking on the way back, and the peloton was all together up until the turnaround. Another thing that was a little bit of a surprise for me was that we needed to pick up our participation medal at the end of that out, and if we didn't have it on our way back, we would be disqualified at the finish. And I learned that last minute in the neutral start from my friend Paul, thankfully. Otherwise, I wouldn't have grabbed it. It was yellow and I thought it was a banana. So when I arrived at the end, I was like, oh, why I don't need a banana. Why would I take this? But then I was like, oh, wow, that's a medal actually. So that was a bit, surprise. And then at the finish, basically stayed with the peloton the whole time, attacked a few times, didn't work out. And then towards the end, I went for it quite hard, 4 or 5 times. Attacks over 1,000 watts, and I never could really separate. I guess that's where picking the SLC was a bit of a mistake. I didn't know that the race would be so flat at the end. So I basically was staying with the pack for the whole time up until the last K, where I finally managed to dig a deeper attack, and I was closing on the national champion, Lu, of Taiwan, and then we missed the last corner. So the race course having changed, we did basically thought we would be turning right, but the right turn never came because it was becoming now a left turn, and basically the peloton passed us, and I finished first in my category, but obviously that's not what I was aiming for. Still, pretty good day. I learned a lot, especially having my GPX on my Garmin was the biggest lesson. I chose Winspace. Actually, this time I really actually got to choose. So I was given a Winspace SLC 2.0 to do photo shooting for a clothing company, and then I was like, oh, that bike feels interesting. What was interesting was how good of a descending bike it was and how comfortable it was. And during the whole shoot, I felt really like at ease and calm on it. So I was quite curious. I asked about the company, and the universe decided that this was a match. So they basically were looking for a racer, and then we started talking, and now I'm on the Winspace team. So yeah, basically if you can, the race should choose the bike. So if the race has less than 1,300 meters of elevation, you would go for an aero bike. That's quite stiff and maybe a bit heavier, but it'll be worth it. And if the race has over 1,300 meters, maybe 1,500 meters elevation, then definitely go for a climbing bike. The stiffness won't be as big of a factor because they'll be descending, and a stiff bike is usually not the best at descending. It's quite bumpy and kind of making you feel like you're just gonna go straight all the time. So the wheel set being aerodynamic, I didn't feel disadvantaged in the breakaway, and the bike feeling so good in descending, especially in the rain, was feeling like the best choice. So not regretting anything.
Coming up on day 2, a story of a breakaway.